Okay, good afternoon. I'm Jose Jefferson Cuesta. I'm a student of Socorro University from the degree in English 8th semester. And today I'm going to talk about the main problems of society nowadays. Based on these two songs that we use as guides, called What is the Love, Where is the Love, and Dear Mr. President, by those very good groups, the first one by Black and Peace and the second one by Pink. So in these two videos, if we pay really close attention, there are portrayed many different type of problems that nowadays are present in our society. And if we pay attention to this, before starting just focusing on one, which I'm gonna focus later on, I would like to say made an introduction about the different type of problem that we see nowadays in our society, which are taught in the video, and that we're really living in Colombia, right? So talking about that, I would like to say first of all, I think that as a society we have many problems that really affect all of us, and these problems are mainly caused by the people that have ruled the countries. And it's not only in Colombia, it's also around the world. So those kind of problems like poverty, violence, racism, inequality, corruption, insecurity, hunger, and many others are really caused by the rulers. Let's say the presidents, the people got the power in the society. Yep. And who pays all this? Or who are the victims of all this? Of course, the population, the people that don't have the same terms. Not talking about just about material terms. I'm talking about also opportunities. Yep. So if we continue talking about this, we pay attention to every single day are more and more present these type of problems, and they're getting stronger by the avarice and envy of a few people that rule the country. They just want to rule for good. They don't want other people to take the power. And now let's say power. They don't want other people to take them down from where they are. I mean, they are just ruling country, and they don't want poor people or people that really want to work for the rest of the people of the country, for the population, get there. Why? Because they want to keep on controlling. They want to keep on the power. That's why they created and manipulate the system to let poor people not go ahead and keep them always in power. So if we continue also with this part, that I would like to say something is these problems are based on what I said before: envy and hunger for keeping the power. They just seek for their own benefit. They don't seek for the collective them. They just say, okay, if I got a power, I can control it. But what is the main problem that I want to focus on? Because I think that this is the first one, the first problem that was made by those people to control that, to control the system. Which one it is? Poverty. And some people say, why poverty? Yep, let's not talk about just the material one, because there are two kinds of poverty. There is material poverty, and we have mental poverty. And that is the one that affected the most. Why that one affected the most? You can be asking yourself at this moment. Because why is this the main problem for me? Well, if we got that mind that we are poor, every single thing we do is going to be just poor, just for surviving. We're not going to do things for being the best. We're just going to do things for bringing food at the table, and that's it. Yeah, some people, even I have the experience of talking with some people, some of my friends. When long time ago, 11 years ago, I began to start English. And one of my friends told me, yo, Why do you want to study English? He asked me this question. Why do you want to study English? If we, like poor people, just can do two things, we can do just two times. Or and even sometimes that because we're black, this a very poor mentality. It said we can be drug dealers or killers. And I say, okay, that's your mind. That's not my mind. I mean, I think that moment I saw he was my friend, even he's my friend. But that moment I thought, okay, how poor his mind is. He's still in his slavery time because he believes that he's poor, but in his mind, right? This is the thing. This is one of the greatest problems. If you think you're poor, even you're going to school. Yep. Education is another problem. Yes, another main problem. But there are poor people for material things that have done great things being poor. For example, if we really pay attention, we have a person here from Colombia, he's from Buenaventura, working in NASA. Yeah, he's a scientist. Raul Cuero. He was poor, but he was poor because of material thing, lack of material thing, not lack of mentality. Even he was so rich that he didn't let this affect him. His father used to work at the pier. Yeah, he was a poor operator, let's call it like that, because he was really working with loading and unloading some merchandise that comes to this port terminal called Buenaventura, but not operating a machine. It was with the hands. And he said, I love my father, I really appreciate what he does, but I don't want to continue his steps. I'm not going to follow him. This is a demonstration of how poor your mentality can be. How poor your mind can be, or how rich you are in your mind. Yep, that's what I think, that poor, especially poor mentality, you're poor in your mind. This is the greatest problem in our society. Yep, that we believe, we think, we see that we're poor when we have all the richness that we need. Okay, and continue now with this based on the two sums. I want to say that it is a problem that really affects the entire world, not only Colombia, but also the entire world. Yep. And if you think that you're poor, sometimes you cannot show love because you don't love yourself. You don't love people around you, but you're just thinking about your poor mentality, and that's it. So that's why How to Love show us and tell us that we need to love each other by starting for ourselves in order to love other people. Yeah, in order to carry off these poorness that we have in our mind. That's my point of view. And the other song there, Dear Mr. President, he shows the difficulties and problems that their people have. And the most relevant part is that it shows how these people that are ruling the countries know the problem, see the problem, and most of the time they do nothing. And they say, okay, everything's okay. It's not affecting me. It's affecting them, not me. Yeah. So that's why I really think that these people want to keep us poor, especially having the biggest problem, not only material things, but also mentality. If you're poor, if your mind is poor, you're not going to think in education. You're not going to think in the welfare of your family. You're not going to think in the benefit for every other people. You're just going to think for your own, and that's going to be separated. We gotta be together in order to fix this problem, in order to go ahead and change our mentality that is poor nowadays. And try to do it. And that's why I decided to study this. I decided to be a teacher in order to change, or to give part of me to make a change, to make this, like Martin Luther King said before he got a dream, and it was to have equality and to take out the poorness, of our mind. In that sense, teacher, thanks a lot, and I just want to conclude with these words. in this, I'm going to read it because it's something that came to my mind that night. I read it. I wrote it right there, and I say, I believe that the way that these unconscious politicians rule the country, just because they feel fear, they feel scared. If a poor person takes the power, and this poor person is going to do something for not having more poor people in the mind. So it's going to be up in our minds. And when we open the mind with the population, with the people open the mind, it's going to be a very powerful weapon to defeat the corruption, especially that corruption that is being affecting Colombia and all over the world. Thanks a lot, and thanks for all your teaching. I really appreciate it. God bless you all.